Hello, this is Richard from the What Disaster podcast, and I just want to put a little disclaimer out there before this episode that we were having some audio issues and my microphone wasn't working. We had a lot of fun making this episode. Ashley was a great guest, and we hope you enjoyed as well, but the audio is a little noisy, and you may want to listen to it in something other than headphones. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed the epised, and sorry for the lack of quality.
Do we have to labor on this poncho?
Is this the hill you want to die on? Is the poncho?
Apparently this is the hill you want to get up and fight on. You can pick a new hill.
Why would I pick a new hill? You're the one that thinks that poncho would be useful at all.
You're the one who started this hill thing.
You're the hill.
Okay, I'm just going to say right now, this fight is still not as long as this poncho folding scene.
We have not yet finished folding ponchos in this movie. Over I didn't. That's not true. That's not true.
That's not the guy. That's not the guy I asked to do this thing with.
Hello, and thanks for joining us for another episode of the What a Disaster podcast, where we watch and review a disaster movie as close to weekly as we can possibly stand. I am still Gregory Allen, as far as I know. I don't think I've been taken over by a future AI. As usual, I am joined by the Richard Sawasinski.
I have been taken over by a future AI, but the only name I could come up with was Pizza Hut backwards. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with
Ta'azip.
Yeah. I'm gonna stick with Richard.
And we've also got the Liz here.
Hello.
That was really good, Liz.
Thanks.
Best hello I've heard out of you today.
Probably the only normal one I've ever given on any episode.
And now we also have a return special guest, Ashley,
Very special guest.
the specialist.
Thank you.
Actually,
Hello.
an I, not an EY. That would be the wrong way to spell it.
She spells it with an I.
Asshole would spell it that way. And they consider an asshole who didn't bother to even look up the name of a person willing to sacrifice their time to be on a show that like 2 people listen to.
Also, you can find me on Instagram, Ashley with an I.
Oh, is that your actual?
Yep.
Oh, that's great.
So,
It's easy to remember.
There it is.
there you go. Sorry,
Um,
I got that plug in there right and early. Sorry.
Yeah, no, that's
It's
fine.
important.
It's
Yeah.
important to know what's going on in your
Nobody
life.
listens to
Like
the end.
we want definitely to see pictures of dogs and the joy of our guests' lives when we do these things. So,
Lots of pugs.
outside of pugs, have you been doing anything cool to kill time for the thing here, fighting off the existential dread and what have you?
No, I've been working a ton and fully embracing the existential dread.
Yeah. So I guess we'll just drop right into this. Today we're watching a spectacular little film made in 2016 called Passthru.
Human evolution has ended, and there can be no further advancement. The turning point is now.
It was attempted to be crowdfunded, but I think missed its mark, and is written and directed and starring Neil Breen. He's got a number of these kinds of movies, it looks like, and this is the closest one to a disaster movie that he's got, and Ashley picked it for us, which, I mean, awesome. It was an excellent choice. This is about a messianic entity from the future who travels to modern day Earth to wipe out about 300 million quote unquote bad people and usher in a new era of peace. So, Ashley, you made us watch this. Please tell us why.
Because I thought it'd be funny to make you guys watch this. And it's good bad. Like The Room is good bad, and Birdemic is good bad, and all of that. It's a bunch of ridiculousness, and it's fun to watch. And I've only seen it. I've discovered Neil Breen probably within the last year or so, and he's fastly becoming one of my favorite directors.
Fastly.
Quickly.
I'm that's fine. Whatever word you pick, it's your words, man.
Swiftly?
You do whatever you want with your words. You get to choose what you do with them. I'm not here to stop you. I'm here to embrace those words. Much like the existential dread. I would like to say that this movie is on the same level as Birdemic and The Room, but the production value is much lower than Birdemic and The Room. And I would never have expected to see a fully fleshed out and released movie with worse special effects than Birdemic. But here we are.
This is a hit in its own right. It has a little cult following.
Yeah, Neil Breen in general is starting to really attract viewers. And you said he's making a new Passthru? Or not Passthru.
No, this is Passthru.
Yeah, right. Twisted Pair is coming out, and he's got a documentary crew following him on that one?
So I've heard that there was a documentary crew that followed him through the entire making of that movie.
Okay.
So I'm very exciting, if that's true, to see like behind the scenes and like his method and all of that.
What is this guy up to?
Actually, explain to us who Neil Breen is, because I still really don't have a complete clue.
So as far as anyone really knows, because he doesn't do a ton of interviews or anything, he always kind of just self-promotes his own stuff. So he's, I believe, a real estate agent and like property developer from like the Las Vegas area. I don't know if he just one day decided to make some movies. And he, up until this one, he always self-funded them. So like his first one, which is called like Double Down, that it's just a ton of stock footage. There's only like, I think 5 people total in the entire movie. Maybe 10 if we're pushing it.
Right.
But yeah, he's just a very successful man who decided he wanted to spend his money making movies, and
he just went for it.
Yeah, he just went for it.
You know what? That's awesome.
He's definitely an interesting filmmaker.
Yeah, I believe he has a vision. He has some sort of vision, because
cross-eyed, but
all of his movies have kind of theme to them. There's always these like thematic elements to them. It's always has to do with like hackers or space or
politicians.
Yeah, the
being corrupt.
Yes,
That's corrupt. Do you think he comes out the other side of these films and thinks and is completely satisfied with the outcome?
I think because they're all so the same.
Okay.
And there's such the only subtle difference, like in his first few, there's all those spanning shots of like the desert and stuff. And this one, there's still a lot of desert. He loves that. He's spinning around in a desert
forever.
Forever.
In a vault somewhere, there's 3 hours of that man spinning in circles.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For real.
I would love to see
the crop circles in the sand.
I would love to see just the raw footage of what he shot for this movie. It's got to be tremendous. I want to see where he was like, you know what? No, let's try that again. At what point he stopped the actors and said, this isn't working for me. You're not hitting the tone I'm looking for. Let's try it again. But this time, why don't you yell with dead eyes at me? And let's see if that works out a little better for me.
Just anger devoid of emotion? Is that something you can handle, Greg?
Oh, yeah. We can absolutely make that happen. There's too much inflection in your tone.
Right.
And it's really throwing me off.
I need you to enunciate.
Think angry robot that just had its last bolt stolen.
See, he and the weird thing is the contrast is everyone is so amped up. Every other actor is so just like yelling and crazy. And he also has no emotion, but the total opposite way.
Oh, yeah.
Can I tell you something? Because I don't know if
No.
you look. Well, I'm gonna.
We're going to go to break.
Oh,
No.
no, because I don't know if I've told you about how his website, the last I've looked at it, it's set up a very specific way. Because he also, he's a one-man show. So he runs his own website, or so it appears, or he just doesn't have people that are skilled at running a website run it. Because how it's set up is if you want to buy a movie, it defaults to the most recent movie that came out. And then you have to order that, but then in the comments, write what movie you really want him to send you.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me last time.
Oh,
and it's, it just shows he really does kind of not have any kind of look back or like introspection on anything that he does. Like,
yeah, it's amazing. I don't know how. I mean, I know how. He just throws money at it. Mm-hmm. But I don't know why.
He might be just trying to boost the sales of the newest movie.
I think he's
the
just
other
thick.
ones.
All right, so I found some sweet mushrooms in my backyard, and we've got some glue to sniff. We're going to try all that stuff, and we're going to get a little bit weird with this movie after this break.
Hi, this is Neil Breen. Thanks for visiting my crowdfunding site. I wanted to take a few minutes to tell you about my new feature film, Passthru. It's a science fiction drama. The story's very entertaining, very thought-provoking, dealing with the conflicts, challenges, contradictions between advanced artificial intelligence as we've never known it and humanity. It's very thought-provoking, emotional, passionate, visionary, dirty and gritty, having to deal with the controversy of social responsibility and personal values, amongst other things. Here are some details of my new, very entertaining and visionary film.
The glue was Elmer's and had therefore no chemical effect, which we were hoping for. And the mushrooms were Morels, and they were delicious. We will not be able to get weird with this movie because this movie's already weird, and drugs would make it worse.
Oh.
This movie opens up with rocks, and I don't know what was happening with this cave drawing thing, but there's a tiger on a rock, and then there's a cave drawing, and a not so human arm is drawing more with a bone, and I don't know what was happening. And that theme sticks throughout the movie, not knowing what's happening, not the bone drawing thing.
Lots of desert.
Yeah.
Although the drawing is there through the whole movie.
And a tiger.
And tiger.
The tiger's in the movie a lot. Well, the tiger plays a role.
Tiger's the second credited character on IMDb, Greg.
That's true. Second. So what you put in the notes that you love the constant hissing? Do you just mean the audio quality being tremendously bad? Okay. I just want to make sure.
It really added to the atmosphere. I felt like I was in the room, but I had right next to the air conditioner. So
It changed with every cut.
Watching the movie, I'm not sure which is worse, the audio or the video. They are both awful. Character introductions at the beginning of the movie. We are introduced to a number of people: a drug dealer, a drug user, a smuggler of people smuggler.
Yeah.
Coyote.
A coyote.
Mm-hmm.
A tiger.
Mm-hmm.
Kids that love astronomy. A dying man who may love astronomy too, probably, but he doesn't say much.
He loves saddles.
He does.
And
He
cowboy
loves
boots.
Yeah, because
saddles
he's
and cowboy boots.
eccentric.
He's eccentric. He's an eccentric
The old
astronomer.
professor is so eccentric.
I agree 100% with this note, Richard, in that the acting in this movie makes Geostorm look like it belongs in the Criterion Collection.
Oh, yeah.
I can't emphasize enough how all over the place or over the top or horrible the acting in this movie is start to finish.
You start to adjust to it, and you start to worry about who you are as a person.
Yeah.
You adjust to it.
As I was watching it, I wasn't like, oh, I care about this person, but I did manage to go, I'm done caring about how horrible this person is as an actor, and I'm invested somewhat in this character. So that's a thing that happens. You start to slowly lose I would say quickly lose your sanity as you watch this movie.
This movie gaslights your sanity.
I feel like AI from the future is in my brain right now, convincing me that I watched this movie and enjoyed it.
I genuinely had a good time. I liked it.
Hey, a good time does not mean it was a good movie. I enjoyed watching the movie.
Yeah.
I'm glad I only had to do it once, and I would love to watch this movie again with drinks and friends.
Hey, it's me. Have you written any songs lately?
I've been working on a couple new songs, and I'm really proud of them.
Yeah, I've written like 2 or 3.
Okay, so the kids. Let's try and unpack these characters.
I wrote plot summaries. I don't even know.
We don't need the plot summaries. We need to unpack these. We'll start with who do we want to start with? Neil Breen's character.
Yeah, he's lit or whatever.
He is
Till.
Till, sorry.
Till.
Light.
So
I'm so confused.
at the beginning of the movie, he is living in the desert. He's a heroin addict, and he's encountered by some smugglers, and they're like, clean up this mess so that Border Patrol doesn't know where we are. And he goes, here's your payment, and throws him some drugs.
Yeah.
And then as Neil Breen is cleaning it up, terribly, by the way, he just bonks him in the head with a rifle and kills him. It doesn't kill him. It just knocks him out.
Right.
Right. When you wake up, this better be clean. Like, good luck.
He gave him so many drugs in payment, too.
That was a lot. That was
of
a pretty
heroin.
big sack of drugs for that.
Yeah.
I don't think Neil Breen knows much about heroin.
No.
From what I saw, we're introduced to 3 characters here. 1, the smuggler, who's telling him to clean up. 2, Neil Breen's character, who is a heroin addict, and we'll find out soon enough here that character actually dies. And 3, Neil Breen's recycling that is seen several times throughout this movie.
And he eats, for a heroin addict just living in like a decrepit trailer in the desert, he eats really well. Like it's a lot of yogurt.
It's yogurt and cans of vegetables and some fruit
They're all
and milk
completely
jugs.
washed and clean.
They're all washed and ready for the recycle bin.
Yeah.
Neil Breen comes to and dies of a drug overdose. Immediately. His biggest problem, I don't think, was the heroin. It's how he uses it that killed him. He, instead of injecting it, which is the way you're supposed to use heroin, he sprays it all over his arm.
Yeah.
And that is very, very dangerous.
And he uses a loose rope.
Yeah,
To,
the rope is too loose. He's not getting good tension for his veins, and he's just spraying heroin on his arm, which everybody knows is a surefire way to die from it. I learned that in Dare.
We're saying no to drugs.
Get Dare in your kid's school, too, by visiting Country Style Donuts. Purchase the Dare Bear and show you care. Proceeds go to Dare in your community.
Basically, as soon as he dies, he comes back to life. Well, he doesn't come back to life. The AI from the future.
Yeah, comes out of his body.
Takes over his body.
One of his really good special effects.
That is the most impressive special effects shot in this movie.
It has to be, probably. At least it was like equally lit and everything like that.
Right. Well, it's just a frozen frame of that. And then he stands up with the frozen frame overlaid on top of him standing up. So it's just a freeze shot. Oh, God, my life. What have I done? You know what? At least we're not at Applebee's.
I think like the heroin scene makes sense if you just pretend he's supposed to be taking insulin. And he just misses.
Just pretend that he's actually diabetic and living in the desert.
It's like, oh, I sprayed it all over myself. That was all the insulin I had.
The
that would explain all the healthy food.
Here's your payment. It's actually insulin for you.
Yeah.
So this should help.
He's just really bad at shooting himself up with insulin. That's why he has all those bruises.
And later on, I feel like the smuggler is beating himself up. Like, crap, I think I might have given him heroin instead of insulin. I hope that guy's okay.
We kind of need that guy. He's the one who keeps the place clean.
He keeps it clean so Border Patrol doesn't know where we are. There's a very shouty woman is one of the smugglers.
Shouty lady!
I don't think she speaks a single one of her lines. I think she yells every single one of them.
Grandma, why'd you shoot her? Because I have absolutely no value for you two on the street.
On the one hand, I want to talk about this movie as though it's a story being told and that the production value does not affect the quality of the movie, but that is not true.
No. The
production value is what makes this movie worth watching.
So we get our first death about 13 minutes in when Shouty Lady kills a kid and his grandmother.
No, does Shouty Lady kill a kid first, or does what's his name die first?
No, yeah, first death would be so Yelly Lady is my favorite person.
Yelly Lady?
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Of the smugglers, who's your favorite smuggler, Liz?
Also Yelly Lady.
Yelly
Is
Lady.
it even a contest?
No, I don't think so.
No.
Although I do like 7-month pregnant woman too.
Oh yeah.
So Yelly Lady confronts this pregnant woman and says, "How many months pregnant are you?" And she yells it at her, of course, and she said, 7 months, huh? Yelled once again into her face, and then just stabs her in the stomach and cuts her shirt open, revealing that she's not pregnant, but she's full of drugs.
They put the guys in this weird, like, truck, and they put the girls in a house. But 2 girls notice this is happening, and they run away. And the smugglers try to shoot them, but these guns don't work. The girls get away, and we find out that the one girl is the daughter of...
the other one's sister. Instead of saying, "I'm your aunt" or "you're my niece," she says,
Your mother's my sister. She was murdered. I swear to God I'd take care of you. You're my niece. We have to keep running.
And they find Neil out living in this trailer that nobody's ever lived in. It was disgusting. And this truck that was from the 1930s.
cleaned it.
He cleaned it. And we don't see how they meet even. She just starts panicking while he cleans the trailer for her.
He looks
that was
like
my favorite part.
He's like an excited puppy, kind of, or an excited child trying to show somebody a new toy.
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, I'll clean so that you can come in and look." and starts just dumping his recycling, which makes yet another appearance into the desert.
He was throwing each piece one by one in a perfect arc out the window in front of her face.
If this movie were a better movie, that would have legitimately been funny. But it's not.
And the girl panics the whole time.
Oh my god! What are you doing?
Oh my god, you're throwing garbage. Oh no, I'm sorry. She didn't recognize that he was throwing garbage. She asks him repeatedly, "What are you doing?" in a panic-stricken voice.
My favorite line, and the best actor in this movie is Kim. And she legitimately is the best actor in this movie. And she follows Till into the desert and just lays down and goes to sleep.
A lot of people go to sleep in the direct desert sunlight in this movie all the time.
It seems like none of them have very good survival instincts for the desert.
She's like, this is a good place to lay down.
Yeah.
And then when Till comes back down, she says, I saw you. You're a weird dude. And that was the best delivered line in this movie and the most honest thing said in this whole film, because she looks right at Neil and goes,
I saw you. You're a weird dude.
And it's just like, yeah, right. I don't think that was even in the script. I think I should have said that to him.
It's like, you know what?
People think that. That's been a thing people have said about that.
It was too honest.
Yeah. They thought that she like just ad-libbed it, and he's like, that sounds right. Yeah, he does seem like a weird dude.
What
Good job.
was he doing to make her say that? Like, what did she catch him doing in real life?
He just walked up to like that wall, didn't he?
Yeah.
No, I'm saying, like, if it were ad-libbed, what did she see him
he was
doing
making
on the
that
set?
movie.
He was making that movie.
Yeah, he was making the movie. And like 2 days in, she's like, what is going on here?
She had the best performance, honestly. There were a couple times where she sold it a little bit. There were a lot of times where she was terrible, but she,
I mean, putting a little bit of effort into your lines in this movie really made you stand out against everybody else. So
one of the women that were in the house with all the other women who were smuggled, when they were all talking about their corrupt governments and stuff. There was one, though, that actually seemed like she wasn't just yelling. She was actually trying to... It wasn't really good.
I noticed that, too.
But it was above the rest of the other ones. She wasn't just yelling. She was actually trying to portray some sort of emotion.
You've been in the shower too long!
Oh, man. Yeah.
I said you've been in the shower too long!
That's a hard one right there.
Meanwhile, no showers running at all.
I was really, really attached to that character that hung herself in the shower.
Yeah, who was she?
I don't know. Yeah, no idea.
The shower was even running.
You've been in that shower long enough. Get out of the shower. Oh, damn.
I might actually prefer being at Applebee's right now.
Some gray.
Some wet.
Dollar Zombies through the month of October.
Beef.
Dollar Zombies.
Dollar Zombies at Applebee's?
Crapplebees.
Dr. Bones on the TV set.
There we go. Let's watch some Bones and eat some Applebee's.
There's a scene I have to point out where Kim and Till are walking around the desert and they find, imagine that, and they find a piano. And
oh God, yeah.
And Till's magical. He's already showed his magical powers before. I'm moving some cans. It was very impressive. And he sits down to play the piano. And I get it. Not everybody can play the piano, and it's sometimes hard to find a pianist for one small scene in a film. So a lot of times a director will just shoot the front of the person playing the piano. You know, maybe you can see their arms moving a little bit, but you don't actually have to know the notes. You just have to kind of know the rhythm. Neil doesn't like to go with traditional filmmaking practices. He decides to point the camera at the hands and only the hands of the people improperly playing the piano.
Yeah. He just went for it. He's like, fuck it. You know what? No, he's showing that he can make anybody play and make the piano sound great, even if they're horrible at playing the piano.
Yeah.
I mean, there it is.
You can just hit anything.
He used his AI powers to make the piano work just for those idiot hands.
And as a filmmaker, that was a much more interesting shot than showing the wonder on the girl's face as the piano was working. I wouldn't want to see that.
You know what? You show me any facial expressions from that character that elicit any amount of emotion, and I will give you
Even
$1.
the hands were bad actors in this movie.
That's the important thing to note, is that even the hands are bad actors.
So, Neil, Till, whatever, it has an immediate connection to Kim. Him and Kim are, like, I'm not saying it's because she has big boobs. I'm just saying that I think it's because she has big boobs.
They are bigger boobs than Till.
Not the Till, though. He's in the desert. He's met two girls.
I mean, he's also a former drug addict, future AI, so he's probably seen plenty of boobs, Richard.
Yeah, he's really taken with her though.
Wait, which one are you talking about? The niece or the aunt?
Aunt, not
Amanda.
Kim.
Amanda.
Amanda.
Have you even watched this movie? Do you even know the name of the characters in this film? You only have to watch 50 minutes of it before you find out any of their names. But
Yeah, incidentally, up until that point, I was calling Amanda Kim Kardashian.
Oh, because I could see that.
Yeah.
She's got kind of a Kim Kardashian appearance.
Kim Kardashian
to an extent.
That's where we were going for a while.
Yeah.
But there was a scene that we don't want to pass up where they're folding towels.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of odd scenes. This one is beyond the pale. I have no idea. I can understand that maybe Neil's supposed to be playing this AI that doesn't understand humanity. So he sits there and just keeps refolding this towel with a giant hole in the middle that is useless as anything other than like a poncho. But the girl has
What do you
no
think
excuse.
ponchos are for?
Like, you just flip like a spaghetti western poncho. You put it over.
No, I understand what a poncho is. I'm asking you, what do you think they're for? That towel could be useful as a poncho.
The shitty poncho. I didn't say it'd be a useful poncho. I said it could be used as a poncho. I'm just stretching.
You actually said the only thing it would be useful for is as a poncho.
I didn't mean that way.
No, you need to clarify that comment,
I didn't
Richard.
mean it that way. Obviously, it's not a very useful poncho. It's a terrible poncho. It's more useful as a poncho than a towel.
I disagree. I'm sorry. I'm drawing the line on this poncho, Richard.
Do we have to labor on this poncho?
Is this the hill you want to die on? Is the poncho?
Apparently, this is the hill you want to get up and fight on. You can pick a new hill.
Why would I pick a new hill? You're the one that thinks that poncho would be useful at all.
You're the one who started this hill thing.
You're the hill.
Okay, I'm just going to say right now, this fight is still not as long as this poncho folding scene.
Yeah, we have not yet finished folding ponchos in this movie. They both have a towel and they both have holes in towels and they're looking at each other instead of the towel and they're flipping it around in their hands and they're supposed to be folding the towels and they're not folding anything.
Stripping them over and over into the hole.
Yeah.
It's like watching them wipe down a table at Applebee's. They're not actually wiping the table down at Applebee's.
It's just
They're
dirty water.
near the table with dirty water.
It's dirty water.
We're gonna plot through the rest of this plot, quote unquote.
Yeah.
Neil or Till, this is where he volunteers the information that he can bend space and time, as he shows us by bending this hose over and over again. And then he
picks up some of his recycling with his powers.
Yeah, he has two powers. He can space and time, and he can bend hoses. And he let us know over and over again. He also lets us know that he's going to kill 300 million people.
But only the bad people.
Only the bad people.
Mm-hmm.
And is he suggesting there are only 300 million bad people in the world?
Yes.
Because I
Maybe
feel
it's
like
not
that number's
300
really low for number of bad people based on his criteria.
Mm-hmm.
Like he just traits that are character flaws that he's decided he does not like, or moral judgments that he is making as an AI from the future with no concept of the 21st century. Those are all murderable offenses to him.
If you cheat at fucking Dr. Mario,
You're dead. You're dust.
Yeah. I mean, I agree with that.
He's shitty Thanos.
He is shitty Thanos.
Legitimately shitty Thanos in this movie. Which I'm good with, actually. Let's make this canon for MCU.
Right.
How can we tie this in to the Avengers movies?
More special effects.
People think a little bit that there is a weird Breen cinematic universe that nobody really knows about. That there's a common thread between all the movies.
I think that literally no one knows about it because even Neil Breen doesn't know about it.
Possibly.
I think he's just what would be really cool if I did this, and then he writes a script in a night, shoots it in 3 days, and then puts it out. And that's it. That's great.
Mm-hmm.
Post probably takes longer than everything else in this movie.
Oh yeah, I'm sure it does. Editing probably took him a year.
I'm so excited to see, what's his new one?
Twisted Pair.
Twisted Pair. Man, it looks really good, Liz.
Okay.
You gotta understand
All right.
what we're talking about.
So we get the news, Greg.
Well, and that weird green screened background.
Oh, I love the news.
Oh, when he kept
With
so
the still video cameras.
you gotta understand, anything that Neil Breen couldn't afford to stop and visit, he just shoots at the green screen. So the newsroom is
The
a desk
mansions.
with a green screen behind it. The mansions are just green screened behind him and some actors.
They're totally Zillow pictures too.
Oh, yeah.
Real estate
Yeah.
photos.
I don't know where he got hopefully it was stock photo that he didn't have to pay a royalty on.
Oh, he knows about stock photos and stock footage. Believe me.
Oh, I'm sure. I'm sure. I mean, this Neil Breen could be great. What I really need is a Neil Breen Wikipedia, like just dedicated to Neil Breen.
Like a Breenapedia?
A Breenapedia.
Breenapedia.
Is there a Breenapedia? There's probably already a
For the
Breenapedia.
Breenamatic universe?
Probably a Discord and a Breenapedia. And
Well, let's get on the Discord
For the
right
Greg.
now.
why aren't we on the Discord?
Correct, for the Breenamatic universe.
For the
right?
Breenamatic universe.
Yeah. Let's get through the rest of this.
No. What I need right now is another goddamn break.
No, we're going to get one, but up to a point.
Up to what point?
Well, Neil
He just
shows
killed
up,
300 million of the worst people in the world, Richard.
Yeah.
We should be cheering.
but this scene is like 5 minutes long, but I thought it was going to go on.
Oh my God. It felt like forever.
We were looking at the progress bar at the bottom of the screen and like, is this going to be the end of the movie? Just the next 20 minutes of this?
But isn't that corrupt?
Those are, people are, he goes to these parties where it's always 4 people or 3 people standing around talking about how corrupt they are. Not saying like, that, like normally like if you walk down to somebody talking about corruption, it'd be like maybe Greg and I going, yeah, dude, and then like this guy called me and I wasn't gonna help him and he gave me like $1 million, so I feel like I have to hear him out. But no, these guys are like, I take money for corporate favors. I am a bad person.
Yeah, they're all very, very explicit with their failings as
They're all
quote
Batman
unquote
villains
humans.
or character description cards that somebody's
Right.
reading. Like
No, you know what it is? It is a game where you're trying to guess what the other person is, and you're allowed to use any description you want. So if you're playing a corrupt politician, but you're not allowed to just say, I'm a corrupt politician, you say,
I love it.
I am in politics and I take money from corporations to make laws that are effective for their base, and that's it, and
then
makes
Neil
it
just goes-
hard for my constituents otherwise.
And then Neil just goes, that's corrupt.
Isn't that corrupt? No, he goes, isn't that corrupt?
He uses isn't that corrupt like 3 times.
Isn't that betraying the people's
And
trust?
then there's that one.
And they don't respond because they weren't even in the room when he says it.
And then they go, do you know him? I've never seen him before in my life. And then they disappear.
He walks away from an exploding house.
That's right, the exploding mansion.
The exploding green screen mansion.
He
with
walks
the,
outside. He phased the AI phased himself into a nice suit and looking clean. And he walks outside of the mansion, phases back into this desert dweller garbage clothes with dirt all over his damn face.
Costume or whatever.
And then
Costume.
the mansion blows up behind him.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Oh my god.
It was like the spray paint brush in Photoshop, just like 3 times.
it was
There wasn't any smoke. It was
something.
I know senior national elected government officials who I can force my political bias and influence on fellow politicians to vote my way. For a payoff, of course.
Isn't that corrupt?
He goes back to the newsroom and he gives a monologue that is no less than completely insane. It is absolutely fucking insane.
That's one of his themes.
And it's so long. And I thought
In all the
was good. There's
movies.
45 minutes left in this movie. I thought at this point we were going to be stuck with 25 minutes of this monologue. He's just throwing everything out there. He's like, political correctness. And
Oh yeah, he's just going ham on everything. Being kind to people, second chances, political correctness. It's all destroyed this world.
failed environmental system.
It hasn't worked yet, and it won't work it now. So I'm taking it into my own hands. Yeah, he's chosen his moral compass to dictate who should and shouldn't live on the planet, and somehow that's fine to just kill people because you don't like them.
He's just teleporting around the world, killing people.
Right.
Yeah.
Richard, can I take a break?
Yeah, now we're good. So, this movie
You
does
said
continue
yes, and
for
then
the
you
half
started
hour.
talking again, Richard.
This movie does
You
continue.
said yes, and then
I
you
want you to take a
started
break.
talking
Well,
again.
There's a lot of non sequiturs.
All right, look, listeners, we're going to Applebee's to get hammered on. What are they?
Dollar zombie
Dollar zombie
drinks.
And we're gonna eat gray sirloin steak that's been microwaved for just the wrong amount of time,
Reconstitute with just the right amount of water
and we're gonna cry a lot
into our steak. So
into our steak to season it.
That's been over buttered
That's been over buttered
to give it flavor.
And
It needs more butter.
it still needs more flavor somehow, but less flavor at the same time. Don't go to Applebee's.
But come back to our episode.
But please, just keep listening. We'll be back.
My name is Cade. I have an identical twin brother, Cale. Then one day it all changed. There was a bright light in the sky and time stood still. We were both selected. The pure majesty of nature.
Programmable virtual reality, the corrupt version.
A limitless digital universe, connecting all shared virtual reality. Digital tribes. I miss what I never knew. I'll take you out to dinner.
Leave me alone. I have a boyfriend.
Let's have
Get
it.
out of my
Let's
face.
have a
Leave me
drink. Let's
alone.
have a drink.
Leave me alone.
Let's have
I
a drink.
a boyfriend.
I'll meet
Get
you
out of my
back here
face.
at 8 o'clock. I miss my brother.
All right, so I've got a box that was used to keep it stiff of White Claw hard seltzer, which it was a multi-pack, 3X natural lime, 3X raspberry, 3X
grapefruit,
ruby grapefruit, and 3X black cherry. I don't know. All right. So that's the cardboard. I'll frame that for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. That was beautiful.
And then we have a signed, autographed photo of, I don't know his name. I'm sure there's, oh God, there's two. There's two. Ryan Buds as beach victim number 1. To my pals at the What a Disaster podcast, have y'all seen my leg? And then he drew a picture of a tornado with a shark coming out of the top, and it says, watch my skies, and both of these are amazing.
Oh,
I'm gonna pass them down for other people. They did get a little banged up in the mail, it looks like, especially the To my pals at What a Disaster, but that's all right because it's beautiful.
Oh, this is so beautiful.
Ashley's gonna take a peek.
Context.
Oh, I got a little note too. Trivia with Buds. Oh yeah, he's the guy from Trivia with Buds. That's the Buds guy. All right. Oh, he knew it was ripped. He said, "Sorry, the one is ripped. It was my last one. Hit me up to
his last picture.
Hit me. Yeah, we got his last one. Thanks, Mr.
Man.
Bud.
That's special.
Thanks, Ryan Buds.
Ripped by the actor. That's great.
Hey, you want me to read the letter?
Yeah, go ahead.
He said, "What's up, guys? My pal, I cannot read his name, from Wreck My Podcast, told me you guys did Sharknado, so I wanted to send you some missing leg pics. Sorry, the one is ripped. It was my last one. Hit me up to podcast anytime. Would love to ask you guys some trivia cues. Buds."
Oh, man.
And then he drew a picture of a Sharknado, and he said, "Terrible Sharknado." But it's not terrible. It's amazing.
We are, yeah, we've been a little busy with some other stuff, but we definitely got to reach out.
Yeah, I'm going to look at the postage date on this just to tell everybody how awful we are. 9/5/2018. So it has been here for some time.
A month and a half. That's
Month
not
and a
bad,
half,
though.
a month and a half, though.
You guys took a week off. There's been things.
Yeah,
There's been a lot of things. I
Greg
did just
had
get
some
my
elective surgery.
I had to get my testicles removed.
And your nose looks better, too.
My nose looks great,
Yeah.
but that's
You
genetic.
get it fixed. It just looks good.
Yeah. So you want to keep that with those pictures? Did you see the pictures, Lizard?
Yes, they're awesome.
So does he have a podcast? Is that a trivia podcast?
Yeah, Trivia with Buds. I think he has a podcast too. So
I feel bad because I actually want to listen to that, and I kind of forgot, so I'm going to have to subscribe to that when I get home. So let's talk about these beers.
oh, these beers. We've got two this week. They both fit the theme ish, but the movie also fits the movie theme ish because that movie is ish as far as movies go.
Plot ish.
It is movie ish. So the first one we'll go with is from New Holland Brewing, which is brewed right here in Michigan. Actually, in Holland, Michigan, which is nowhere near here, but that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
It's in Michigan. That's the important thing because I love Michigan.
They're in the mitten part too, not that weird upper part.
What's the upper part? Is that the one that looks like a weird shark?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, where all the cool stuff actually is.
Where all the cool stuff is, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
God damn it.
This beer.
Oh yeah, we didn't finish reviewing
We
Lost
didn't
Dunes.
even start.
No, I talked about it being from Michigan, and then we ranted, which is fairly common.
Nobody.
Anyway, this beer, the Blueberry Floral Golden, called Lost Dune, by New Holland Brewing. So it's Lost Dune because they're kind of in the desert-ish. There aren't really any dunes, but that's all right.
Dunes are made of sand.
Dunes are made of sand. Deserts are made of sand. Tenuous link, but not the most tenuous link we've ever had with one of our beers. So fuck you. Oh, I think that's my first fuck.
Fuck you for judging us.
I think that might be my first fuck for the episode.
No.
For this episode?
Oh,
I don't think I've dropped an F-bomb today. Let me see how they describe it on the box. Blueberry Floral Golden. I don't know what kind of beer this is. What kind of beer is this, Richard? Is this an ale? Yeah, it's a blueberry ale. And it's made with Michigan blueberries and other natural flavors.
You can tell?
I can taste the nature in it. As soon as I took a drink, I was like, wow, blueberries and nature.
Whoa, nature.
That nature is really up front.
A lot of nature in my beer today, guys.
A lot of nature in my beer today. It's spicy, I think, to me. And it's very blueberry. Like, blueberry hits me hard. Yeah. Right up front. It tastes like blueberry.
Blueberry slap in the face.
Like, not like blueberry flavored stuff, but legit like eating a blueberry. So that's impressive. When my first drink, I was like, oh, I'm not going to like this. But by the time I was done with the can, I was like, I would drink another one of these.
And you did?
I did not.
Oh.
I'm going to give this a drink it.
Good. I'm glad.
Yeah.
I'm glad. That's good to hear.
Yeah. Ashley?
I'm going to say nope on that.
She was a big nope. As soon as she tasted it, she was like, this tastes like a sour
But I don't, but like before, I wouldn't say that, but.
But you did. I heard you say, I just quoted you.
Yeah.
I just said you said it, which means you had to have said it, or are you calling me a liar?
Is this fake news? Because that's really not.
Wow. And you're bringing Donald Trump into this. Come on, Ashley.
We're really trying.
Don't make me, I'm just going to start crying right
now.
now.
Don't make me, I'm just gonna.
Well,
just
gonna. Wait, no, second guess to cry. Patrick was the first.
Yeah, Patrick cries every night
like
though in the hole. Like it really helps me sleep now.
It was
so angels
anyway,
singing.
Ashley.
Blueberries for sure not my favorite thing ever.
Oh really?
Beer is also not my favorite thing ever.
Okay. So this was a win-win.
Yeah. So I'm just like I
is that
to
why
be a good sport.
When we were at the beer store and I grabbed it, you were like, let's get something else, please.
Yeah, pretty much. That's exactly how I sounded. You pretty much recorded me at the time.
Yeah.
Well, that wasn't Ashley. Sorry, I was looking away.
Oh god. But yeah, so it's a big note for me. It's no.
I think that's a don't drink it from Ashley.
I like the Lost Dune. It was delicious. I give it a drink it. Not a lot to say.
Can I look at your bottle here? Can I look at that bottle?
What do you think, Liz?
Pretty good. One of my last trips for my last job, I had to go to that area where the brewery is, and I got to go there in person, and I also ate a delicious pizza there. So I was excited to get a New Holland beer. It's not maybe my favorite of theirs. It's a little sweet, and I'm also not a blueberry person, but like Violet from Willy Wonka. Yeah, it's okay. It's good enough. It's probably expensive though.
What, the Lost Dune?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. Probably it's Holland Brewing.
Yeah, they're like $16.99 for those
kind of
can
expensive.
packs.
Yeah, they're a bit expensive. That's all right. It's probably how much they spend on packaging that really costs us. Because their package is always really nice.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
The graphic design's good too.
I did have a good time there. I was by myself and I got a yummy mushroom flatbread. It was a good time.
Good stuff.
I know.
Now, what about Space? The other one, the hard cider.
Also good.
Also good. So both drink it?
Yeah.
All right. Richard, you want to talk about Space?
Yeah.
You seemed really desperate a couple minutes ago.
I was super desperate. It's a blood orange hard cider, which I've never had before, which is it's delicious. It's definitely a drink it. Probably my favorite cider I've ever had. It doesn't really taste like a cider. It tastes almost like a mixed drink.
It does.
Ashley picked it.
Yeah.
A good choice, Ashley.
Thank you.
Almost as good a choice as this movie.
I like my alcohol to taste like juice, so I try to find the juiciest tasting and stuff I can find.
All right. It was a good choice. It
Thank
did
you.
taste good. Tasted juicy. So Space.
Yeah.
Blood orange cider. We didn't realize we had to shake it up at first. We just cracked them open and didn't shake them.
Cold one.
And we were like, oh, these are ugly looking. Maybe they're old, but they weren't old. They just are sedimenty, which is good. We shook the next ones, and apparently they taste a little better.
Mm-hmm.
I was not offered one. Everybody got one but me.
And they do taste
There's
way
one with your
better
name
the
on
more
it.
you
It
drink.
was really nice of them to get
Except for when I
everybody.
handed you an open one, you
Richard
said
got
no.
up, handed
Except for
everybody
when I handed you an
beer,
open one,
and
you said
then
no.
handed me his.
When I handed you an open one, you
He
said
handed
no.
me his,
Listen,
suggesting that
listen,
he
Greg.
did in fact get it for me when in fact it was just for
Greg.
him. It's my house, and he comes in and treats me like this. I liked it. It's a drink it from me for space. It reminds me of how I would want to get drunk if I were getting drunk.
Off juice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. We reviewed our beers. We need to polish off this movie.
The whole other movie that happens.
Yeah, really. Like, there's so much going on in this movie, and it's so...
There's so much, but so nothing.
disparate. Like, there's just... He's like, this makes sense, right? And everybody's like, yeah, sure, you're paying us, so yeah.
Greg, I'm just going to get the bullet points. I think this will work.
All right, bullet point
Quick
us.
bullet points, and then we'll talk about them more in depth. The bullet points are, first off, Kim goes missing, but they find her in a mine shaft.
Oh, that's right.
And she's in a mine shaft with a guy who has PTSD, who was pretending to be a ghost, so people wouldn't go into the mine shaft. This was supposed to be communicated to us at one point in the movie.
But it's not at all. He just says that he likes to be alone. So he was holding up ropes.
Yeah. So that's one bullet point. The second bullet point is Amanda's husband finds them somehow and kills them both, but they are then resurrected. The third bullet point is Amanda and Kim split up in the desert because Kim is tired. And so they get in a fight. Amanda moves on and still follows Till. And this is after they're resurrected. So they've already died, so I'd be tired too. And the fourth bullet point is that Till murders so many people and he walks by just piles of dead bodies before sending Amanda into space, but staying behind to continue murdering people. Now we can go back to the mine, but that is what happens in the next 30 minutes.
You missed another bullet point. Till
yes, sorry.
saves all the people.
Yeah, sorry. The very first thing that happens after
He destroys everybody.
After he destroys everybody, is he goes and he saves all the sex slaves or whatever, and he explain to how us. Ashley, please explain, because I think I turned away for a second during this scene and missed everything. Explain to us how Till kills my favorite character, Yelly Lady.
Okay, so they at pretty much the peak Breen performance. You actually see the most emotion out of him ever. They have a yelling match together. I feel like he's intimidated by her yell and must yell himself.
It's very full-bodied yell.
Yeah. But still also dead with no emotion whatsoever. And he yells at her, "I will eliminate you." And he says it multiple times. And she yells some other stuff back to him. And then on his last, "I will eliminate you," he then slowly backs out of frame and she just stands there awkwardly. And then...
Like frozen.
Yeah, frozen.
She's
Yeah.
not yelling, because I assume she's frozen.
Yep. And then she just, as he's out of frame, she is then able to disappear.
Yeah, she just...
And the whole exchange takes, I would say, about 30 to 40 seconds of just extremely awkward. It was a very awkward death scene.
Who the hell are you? What the hell are you doing in my house?
This is my universe.
I will kill you.
I will eliminate all of the people like you that have ruined this planet.
You are done.
No, you are done.
I'm done.
Done.
Oh, and there's another minor bullet point. The kids find Till. I don't know. It's pointless.
They've been tracking him this whole movie, looking for the source. The source, which
We only saw them once. We don't know that for sure, but they do show up and say that they have.
Mm-hmm. And they get the old man
they
out of his house to find the source.
They had been searching for the source in the universe for presumably their entire teenage life, which has been at least 6 months.
Right. They're very young. They're junior high almost.
And apparently there were a lot of false alarms.
Oh yeah, he said it could be another false alien encounter.
His dad was tired of taking him to all these aliens, so I'm waiting in the car.
God, I don't know what's happening with these kids, why they were in the movie at all, because they did not add anything to the plot.
I mean, Till had already been on the fucking news for a very long time talking about this.
Yeah, he made 300 million people dis-a-fucking-peer. These kids are just now figuring it out.
He's been cleansing already. That's what he calls it, the cleanse. Till's on the cleanse. I mean, Neil Brent's a genocidal maniac. Can we just put that fucking out there?
Yeah.
He's like, the cleansing must continue.
He didn't commit genocide. He just murdered a bunch of people.
It's called cleansing, Greg. It's not genocide. He gave it a name.
Well, you said genocide, not me. Why are you trying to throw this on me?
I'm seeing your point. That's what I'm saying. You convinced me.
Yeah.
So now,
yeah, you were talking.
Yeah, no, now we can talk about these details. So, the mine. Amanda's like, Kim's disappeared. And so Till spends this whole movie lecturing us on how he can bend space and time, see the future and the past, and we're insignificant to his intellect. Yet he takes an awful long fucking time to find this Kim girl in the mine. Am I wrong?
That's pretty much the crux of this movie is that, man, he's fucking useless for being an AI from the future that can make 300 million people disappear all at once.
Right. Maybe just stop bragging about it. That's all I'm saying, if it's not that impressive. And, it's just a bunch of shots of Neil Breen walking around this mine, like, looking over the railing.
It's...
Looking...
These are establishing shots, Richard. They're building tension.
And that's when we meet the soldier for the first time, and apparently he's been a ghost, and PTSD has been haunting. And him and Kim are playing. Kim keeps saying, "We were just playing."
In this scene, so, and I don't know if you noticed it, but I guess, because nothing is really explained ever in anything in this movie, but there's like a jean-like vest that has like a bunch of medals and stuff on it.
Oh, yeah.
So that is from Neil Breen's first movie, Double Down. Where he plays like a ex-military spy, rogue, whatever. And that's what he wears to like show that he's like a really good ex-military guy.
Agent
Those are all
Michael
his.
Scarn.
He has every kind of medal that you could ever like imagine.
What was that movie called again?
That one's Double Down.
Double Down.
Yeah, and that's the one where he has to shut down the Las Vegas Strip for 2 months for no reason.
And now there's Double Helix? What is it?
No, Twisted Pair.
Twisted Pair.
Double Helix. That's
Yeah.
good too, though. That makes sense.
But a lot of people thought, because I've heard this a bunch, and I thought it originally too, that he was gonna like run into himself, like from another movie.
Oh my god, that would have been so
Yeah,
good.
But
like,
then
we were watching for the. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I've got when we were watching the trailer for Double Down, whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Double Attack.
Yeah.
I saw that vest. I was like, wait, that looks like the vest from.
No, it is.
Okay.
He reuses a lot of the same props, and there's this. He didn't have it in this movie, but there's a house that I'm assuming is just his house that always shows up in a lot of the movies before he realized he could green screen a house. But
That's where that Kickstarter money went.
But it just shows also that like, oh my gosh, that's like a weird Easter egg that like fans love. And if he was even in any way introspective into his own movies, instead of just having some random guy play this like dude with PTSD, just have it be yourself, man. Your fans would freak out. It would almost confirm the like the Breenaverse, but
Breenaverse, man, I'm into it. He heals the soldiers' PTSD, so that's great. He brings back the kid and the grandmother who were shot by a shouty lady, so that's great. So he shows he can bring people back to life, and for an AI, he seems to have a lot of mythical powers. Like, wait, no, this is the part that killed me. Cause he keeps talking about how he can see the future. He actually just says this 3 minutes before Amanda and Kim get shot to death by Amanda's ex-husband. He does nothing to prevent it. Nothing. He just lets them get shot. And then has Amanda's ex-husband smelled them out and found them in the middle of the
walked
desert.
across whatever borders that they were coming from,
Right.
and just found her in the desert.
Just wandering around in the desert with this dude who did nothing, who could bench
Well,
space
and then
time.
how she said it too. She's like, oh no, it's my ex-husband.
He's the one I was running from.
Yeah, it's always exposition dumps, and I don't know.
I thought he killed all the bad people.
He's still working on the cleansing. When this happens.
He is. Well, because when he saves, he really is still working on it. It's a work in progress because when he lets the women go, he tells them to go and like overthrow their governments, essentially.
Give me a hand, man, because I can't do this all myself.
Yeah, it's just like what I thought you killed everybody. Who do you have to overthrow?
No, he says. Well, he said that he killed all the corrupt politicians and all the corrupt leadership, and now they should go start their own government, basically. So yeah,
You're free. You're free.
Believe it or not, a movie this well thought out and high quality has some plot holes. I was as shocked as you.
Yeah, I've been shocked the whole time. That's why I'm mentioning a few plot holes, not many, but enough to really take me out of it.
Oh, I didn't realize that Till resurrected the old lady and that kid who were shot at the beginning of the movie.
I didn't know that either. I saw that in the notes just now.
Oh yeah, that happens for sure. It's quick. It happens, and he lets those girls die. He lets them feel the pain and suffering of a bullet passing through you.
It happens immediately.
Drains from you.
No, it happened immediately. The guy like shot him in like their like shoulder or their leg or something, and it kills him immediately.
But he could have stopped it. He knew it was going to happen. Basically, Till tells them that I'm going to send you to super AI space planet to learn about bending space and time.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to go do that, but I'm going to assume halfway through the walk, Kim gets too tired to go on and decides to die in the desert. I don't know what her backup plan was, necessarily.
She's going to go with those kids and move to a nice house in the suburbs.
What kids?
The kids that found the AI.
Astronomy kids.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, let's just do that. She's marrying a dying professor who's presumably rich so that she can...
Or at least she could sell his saddles.
Cowboy boots and saddles.
Yeah.
So Neil sends Amanda into space. That's it. It's done.
It's done?
It's done. There's nothing else to talk. There's nothing on the other side of this movie.
I guess what we're going to take a break. And when we come back, we're going to have our final thoughts on Neil Breen's Passthru.
We all had the best of intentions of improving the nation's sustainable energy systems and environment, but the corruption and greed in big business and government just won't let it happen.
Oh, hey. There you are. We're back.
Oh.
Didn't see you over there.
You been there this whole time?
Wow.
That's
Good call. We were just over here spraying heroin on our arms, seeing if it really got us higher. So far, I'm dead. My body was taken over by an AI from the future, which I then had an existential struggle with. Told him how small he was in this grand scheme of the universe, and he left. But gave me my body back, which is very nice of him. So, I'm going to review this movie right after Richard reviews this movie.
Right before Greg reviews.
What you tell us what you liked, what you didn't like, what you personally would have done differently if you were in control of the movie.
All right, but what I like about this movie, it had heart.
Defend that statement right now. Right now.
Neil
Breen.
Neil Bro seemed to really care about this film. He cared about it.
Okay. Sure.
That's the nicest thing I can say about this movie. Other than the fact that you get kind of a look into the mind of a madman who's not necessarily normal, which is super interesting. Other than that, it was a pretty terrible film. I give this thing, I'm not gonna say anything like it. The cinematography, the music, I don't know, the acting. It's more of a race to see which was more terrible at any given moment. My favorite worst thing about this movie were all the drone shots. And the fact he was obviously filming it on a windy day, so he used all this like digital stabilization to try to fix the shots, and it just looks like you're underwater.
You don't even need mushrooms for that part.
No.
Just trip balls watching someone
like
poorly pilot a low quality drone.
Right, I feel like I'm having a migraine. It's like the scene kind of wobbles. Dude, I give this thing a 3.478.
3.478.
I liked it better than like
Richter
USS Indianapolis.
You liked it better. All right, let's let the Liz go.
What do you think, Liz?
like I said earlier, I had a great time. I thought it was awesome. 8 out of 10 would recommend.
All right.
All right.
Ashley?
I suggested it.
You did. You son of a bitch.
I suggested bad movies before, though. It's okay.
No, I love it.
I'm the one that made us watch USS in Indianapolis, so
Yeah.
you're still doing better than me.
No, I'm just like Liz though. I love it, and it's for sure like a good party movie, where if you just kind of kick back with a bunch of friends and like have a few drinks, and there's gonna be just a lot of screaming and just like what, and it's so fun, and it is. I feel like it is a passion project. All of his movies, there's no influence on them. He has his own vision, and nobody is going to infringe on that or influence that in any sort of way. He's going to do whatever the hell he wants to do. And I don't know. Neil Breen is just a genius of our generation.
Outside art forever.
All right. And what's your final score on
Oh
that?
my goodness. I would have to give that 300 million eliminations.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's a lot of whatever that is. I think is that a lot? I don't know if that's a lot or if that's not a lot. What's the scale here? What's the best number?
I would say 12.
12. Okay. Wow. That's a really big number. Neil Breen, you did something right for Ashley.
Yeah. I feel like that's a scale that Neil Breen would understand.
So would the Time Cube guy probably. All right, so I'm gonna start with what I liked. I liked that he had a plan and he executed it. Like he had this idea, he wrote a script, he made the movie. That's more than most people can say about pretty much anybody that's been like, yeah, I want to make a movie. That's usually where that conversation stops with most people. But Neil Breen went out there and he fucking did it. And that's impressive.
That's a victory in itself.
Now, the movie that came out of it, not so much. But that's okay. If I'm judging this the way I would judge any other movie, everything about this movie was painful. The directorial decisions were bad, the acting was bad, the cinematography was terrible, the lighting was bad, the audio was bad. This movie is as close to zero as you could get. But if you're watching it based on pure entertainment value, leaving the objectivity of, comparing it to cinematic expectations, it wakes up a lot. It's not a great movie. I will watch it again. I will make friends watch it. And that's good enough for me at this point.
So you say it's a drink it.
I'm saying it's a drink it, but it's like a 2.0 on the Gregster scale. Anyway, thanks for listening to another episode of the What a Disaster podcast. Thank you, Ashley, for showing up and talking about this movie and eating some pizza and drinking some beer with us. Always a pleasure. We hope you can be back for
introducing us to Neil Breen.
I'm so happy to
Double
share.
Helix. What's his next one? Triple Lutz.
Okay, so it was Double Down.
Double Down.
Double Down was the first one.
Passthru.
No, Pass. This is one of the most recent released ones. So it's Double Down.
Double Down.
And then there's
KFC sandwich.
No,
I Am Here Now. Is the next one.
I Am Here Now.
I Am Here. ... Now.
4 dots in that ellipsis.
4 dots
All
now.
right.
Not ellipsis sign.
I know, isn't it wonderful?
He's
just
ellipsis plus.
and then there's Fateful Findings, which is one of his most popular ones, and I believe it's available on Prime Video right now.
You mentioned that.
And then there is this one, which is Passthru, and then his newest one that has not been released yet is Twisted Pair, but you can watch a trailer for it on YouTube
Or his website.
But yeah, I'm happy to share Neil Breen with
There
you.
it is.
There's his face.
It's not on Prime, but it's available on Amazon. Oh no, it's not available on Amazon. Video is currently unavailable. It's got 3.5 stars on.
It was available at some point. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to lie and get everyone's hopes
No, it's
up.
all right. It's just my heart. That's all.
Oh, because it would be great because we'd have subtitles. That would be
A computer scientist / novel writer with supernatural power begins to hack into secret government files when his relationship with his girlfriend crumbles. He reunites with his childhood girlfriend through mystical forces. But soon, the mystical forces start to prevent him from revealing the hacked files. He must now face the dire and fateful consequences of his actions. Wow.
So confused.
I feel like he had to have written that himself.
He probably did.
That's beautiful.
Oh,
That's beautiful. So tagline that I would give this movie.
I got one.
Okay, let's hear it.
This movie will cure you of your PTSD.
There you go. There, you're cured of your PTSD.
You are now cured
free of your PTSD.
Yeah, you are now free of your PTSD.
Yeah, that's a good one. Liz, you got anything over there? I'm drawing a complete blank on this.
Just like what? W-U-T.
Yeah,
In quotation marks.
What?
Prepare to be cleansed. Done. Prepare to be cleansed.
Yeah, I literally cannot come up with anything. I want to play on AI,
Right.
and it's just nothing's coming to me.
You gotta focus on the genocide. That's what
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah. Just fucking read the last.
How about just if you're bad, you're gone.
Oh,
That's
good
a good
too.
one.
That's good too. If you're bad, comma, you're gone.
There you go, done.
Yep.
Exclamation point.
So there's our tags, and there's our final thoughts. We got everybody right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good tags. Good
We
tags.
get the guy that lives in the stairway.
Yeah. He's hungry.
Your son.
Okay. Oh yeah, that's Harvey. That's his name. Thank you. Yeah, you can feel free to check out our show notes for information on the beers we had.
Maybe our reviews one day.
We got contact info. Maybe we'll put our review scores in there at some point. If they weren't so arbitrary, it'd be great.
Maybe.
Also, you can check out our website, www.whatadisasterpod.com.
Enter.
You can press enter. Yeah, that'll just make it go. You can click the little arrow too. That sometimes will do it.
Oh yeah.
You can also follow us on @PodWad on Twitter and @WadPod on Instagram because we are very consistent.
Inconsistencies.
And
Don't
you
you
can.
dare fuck up the two. Dire
Wow.
consequences.
Place weird.
I don't know how dire the consequences are, but I think one of them's like a non-English
What is bullshit?
football team thing. That's
Football.
soccer. Yeah, football. Podcast. Subscribe to us,
Please.
on all your favorite platforms, not just one. Just subscribe to all of us.
If you're not doing all of them, then you're not doing yours.
You're not even a friend.
Listen,
You look. If you want us to like you, you'll do this for us.
that's all we care about.
Just do it.
Please.
Now, why are you begging? I was demanding. You said
Nice.
please. That turns into begging.
I was just trying to be nice.
Richard, come on.
You could try being nice.
Just sing
You
the
could try
phone.
being nice for 5
Just sing the fucking
I just
phone
want
number.
you to be nice.
Sing the phone number.
Tell me when.
Give us a call. You could give us a text. You can leave us a voicemail. Maybe I'll answer the phone. And our phone number is 209-781-9113. And Ashley doesn't even sing. She gave up.
Yeah.
She's given up on this evening.
This is when I stop listening. I'm not
Oh,
gonna
Ashley-
lie.
This is the best part.
We sing the jingle. We've got the outtakes at the end. You don't even listen to this?
The outtakes are the best.
The outtakes are the part that everybody needs to know about.
That's how they get to know us as people.
You know what, Richard?
You need to listen. You needed to tell people about this before because I didn't know this since the last time I was on here.
You put this outtakes conversation as the intro to this, and then boom, we got people listening to. They'll go back and listen to all our
Maybe
episodes
the whole
again.
way through. Yeah.
You idiots!
I'm
You
not gonna
fell
lie.
for our trick. Foolish.
I went back and I listened to some of the outtakes.
I'm going to bed. Good
to
night.
see what I missed.
You missed a lot because that's how you get to know us as people.
Greg's taking his balls to bed.
I'm taking my balls and I'm going home. Wait, I am home.
If it was,
Taking my balls.
If it was Stone
Out.
Piercer, you'd be taking your ball, and our ball, and everybody's ball. You going to bed.
All right.
Also,
Are you
Ashley with an
ready,
eye on
kids?
Instagram.
Do